Hello, hello. Good morning, good morning, good morning. What do we got in here today? What is on People's Garden Trader? Mel, Vanessa, Hidden Land, King Carnage, and Alexis. How's everyone doing? Damn, almost every person who's tuned in has liked the stream. Thank you guys. As you tune in, please drop a like. It helps out the channel a ton. And the market's about to open. Oh, I'm going to change this to the 15. What's going on, Steve? What's going on, John G? Having a great morning. How are you, Josh? Doing great as well. Thank you for asking. And you guys can see we're getting a little bit of a lower open. Nothing really super significant, though. I mean, we're opening 50 cents lower. It's really nothing super crazy. 40, 50 cents. If you look at the bottom right, this is really the chart you should look at for the first, like, 5-10 minutes just to kind of understand where we are at the chart. And you'll see we're just opening just under the previous day highs and close. But we're also opening just under the next zone at 460. So 460 kind of a key level at open. Just type in that in chat. 460 key level at open. Good morning, Chris. Good morning, Maddie Clams. Good morning, SF. Aloha. Good morning, David Q. How was everyone's weekend? Anybody have a pretty chill weekend, or what's up? What's going on, Maxon? Good morning, Taylor. What's up, Daffy? Good morning to you as well. Good morning, Paper Hands. Good morning, First Light. Quick proposal for me. Josh, you like the new Cardi song? I'd have to see it, honestly. I really didn't hear it. I'll listen to it after the work, though. Or after work? The hell am I saying? After I stream. Busy bee with treat orders. Was working this weekend. Hopefully it wasn't too crazy, Daffy. Glad you're alright. Good morning, Kem. A tiny sign with the Dodger. Oh, yeah, King Carnage. That was for like 700 million, right? It's a lot of money. I saw that 700 million. I was like, no effing way. It's like the highest paid sports athlete in history of ever. It's crazy. It's true FU money. What's up, Chris? Did I read your message wrong? You said quick proposal for me. Like you had one of those this weekend, or you have a proposal for the stream? Good morning and happy Make Money Monday. Good morning, Sandollar. Good morning, Timmy. Great weekend. Got to lounge around. That's good. It's always good to get a little bit of a chill weekend. That's good. Looks like most people in here had a pretty chill weekend. Some people worked through it, had different things going on, but it looks like everybody's chilling. It's good. Oh, you proposed to your girlfriend. Oh, okay. That's kind of what I thought it was, but I wanted to make sure. I didn't want to, like, lead to anything weird. But, dude, congratulations. Did she say yes, hopefully? She said no, so I'm going to live in the YouTube stream from now on. Closed. Michui, rare over the weekend swing. 12-15 calls for 33%. Gains at open. Yeah, she was like, sure. She's a true keeper, if that was her reply. Yeah, I guess. There's no one else around. You're alright, I guess. Congratulations, Chris. Everybody congratulate Chris, man. Seriously, that's awesome. Very happy for you. Morning, BB team. Good morning, Green Candlestick. Always happy to see you when you pop up. People said I said yes. Up 50% on Netflix swing I called out as an idea on Friday due to the inside bar. Beautiful job, Jay. Beautiful job, Hidden Land. I call you both names. I deep cleaned my apartment's entire kitchen for 3 hours yesterday, and in 12 hours there were already like 6 dirty dishes in the sink. Oh my gosh. Timmy's like, I love my girlfriend, but I can't tell her she keeps filling up the sink. Totally happy for you, Chris. Few trades before work. I hear you, Adam. I hear you. So far, guys, we had that lower open. We had a little bit of a dip right at open. Carried it right back. Buyers are still present, but we went up and we smacked 460 again. So we've still not surpassed the one level that we need to see price get back over before we can really sit here and say a buyer move looks great. Because otherwise, you can get a really nice seller move from here. So until we see a break over 460.13, you should not be bullish. And if we see a dip down to demand, then maybe we can see some base building and we can become bullish again. But really not seeing anything that I like. We have a doji at open on the 5-minute. That's that bottom left chart, which means we're indecisive. Nobody has control, nor buyer nor seller. It's indecisive. And we know that because that's a long-wicked, small body candle. Yeah, we love Mr. Green. He's all right. No, we like Adam. We like Adam a lot. I even remember his name. Because he is him. Holding up decent higher low from the open. Again, we say it's a higher low because this is the today's low. If you're talking about from the open, remember, you need to always tell yourself that from the open, we're doing this, we're doing that. Just getting information. Because right now, you have a lower open, but you have buyers really holding it very well. We dipped down, they held it. They dipped down again, held higher than the first time they dipped down. And now they're breaking out higher for a new high of day. That's bullish to me. But again, we need to see a really good move over 460 because right now we're just seeing a potential touch of it. We're not even really getting past anything yet. But buyers are in control from the open. And remember, everybody, the left side charts are the same chart, the right side charts are the same chart, but you have 1 minute, 15 minute, 5 minute daily. Lots of indecision this AM, I agree. Morning, waiting for a setup. Good looks, Blackout Gambler. Good to see everybody in here. Good morning, Fool. Good morning, Blackout. Good morning, anybody in here who I did not see, or if you didn't say it back, it's okay. I get it. You don't have to be a morning person. I still appreciate you. Again, we're looking for a better breakout over 460.13. Getting it so far on the 1 and the 5 minute. Oh, I guess on all time frames you're getting it, but you know what I mean. Apple dipped it open. Let's see if they can retake. That'd be a very significant chart to watch today, as well as Microsoft. Kind of getting a different reaction from the triple Qs there. I know they're holding a higher low as well and pushing higher now, but if you look at the top two weights in the stock market in general, they're not doing anything like SPY or triple Q. I'd be very careful today. Make sure you watch your tech charts. Yeah, cool. Thinkorswim, get it, your shit. You need to be updated every 5 seconds now. Holy, healthcare at open. Tech's doing very well without Apple and Microsoft. Healthcare is not. With UNH taking a fall. Looks like a lot of that sector was trying to hold, and UNH said, no, we're going down. Banks are getting a nice move, even with that. Man, this is crazy. A lot of your top weights really aren't really helping some of these moves out on their sectors. You really are getting a lot of small. I bet IWM is killing it today, right? No? We'd have to see some smaller weights then in each sector, but a lot of smaller weights must be doing some work today because I am not getting much movement on some of these individual weights. And then you go to their sector charts and you're like, wait, what? Like this does not look like this at all. Nice push though, and a 5-minute candle close over that 460.13 level. That's very strong. What's going on here? Oh, I'm on the chart. There we go. Had my first session with my new personal trainer this morning, and my whole mind and body is discombobulated. I'm glad B is here to make sense of the price action. You guys just need to focus on the levels, to be honest. You know, like, it doesn't matter if I'm here or not. Now, I know it helps a little, but regardless of being here, though, you really got to, like, remind yourself, like, what are the 4 setups we always look for? And then look at your levels, and then start to look at, all right, where's the best part of the chart for this potential, you know, trade? Where can I look at for this? If I break this level, what's the next one above it? What's the next one under it? You know, it really is as simple as that. Seeing a second 5-minute candle hold that 460.13 right now, that bottom left chart. 1 minute top left chart, it's holding very well, as you can see. And we still do not have our first 15-minute candle. We're still waiting on that. That's that top right chart. Holy Jay, what are you doing? 120% on Netflix, and then he just said, and he finally got out all of his Lulu for 1400%. Jay, what are you doing? Who are you? Good morning, Ace. Always happy to see your name pop up, man. How are you doing? How was your weekend? Man, hidden land. Very happy for you, Jay. Alright, checking on Discord, make sure everybody's okay. Finally broke the 57 level to see if they hold. Good morning, Creator. See, you're not first today. You gave up your first spot, I guess. 460s are still holding. Got a little bit of an indecisive candle on this third 5-minute candle now after trying to hold it what could have been a hammer. We know it's indecisive. And again, regardless of knowing the name of a doji or not, you should know that an indecisive candle means you have a small body or very long legs, or both. If you have both, that means it's even more indecisive. But either of those are very good, which means you just don't touch it. You actually have a gap down on your 1-minute chart. Very interesting. Just reacting to that 460s area. I mean, like, you see it here, you see it here, you see it here, but this is really where it's happening. Yo, good morning, all. Good morning, Shadow. He said was definitely last today. Good morning, Jacko. What's up, Zeke? I was just seeing your message in the chat, man. Good morning to you as well. Good post by Green Candlestick as well in the chat. A lot of really good posts across the weekend and last week in the chat. Good morning, Rambo. How are you doing, man? Still just chilling so far today. Patience, selective, and discipline. Exactly. And that's exactly how you should be. And if anybody needs to go back a little bit to hear what I talked about the market, please do. Because that's exactly what I just said. I was just telling everybody in here, if you don't see any of the 4 setups we practice in here, don't touch it. If you don't see a profitable part of the chart and one of those 4 entries pop up, don't touch it. If anything, do a mental rep. You know, if you really just need to just get that out of your system, take a mental rep. You know, okay, I'm in here. Let's see what it does. Here's my stop. Here's my target. Let's see if it does it. And then follow it. Good morning, everyone. Couldn't trade much last week due to my real job. Excited to get back into it this week. Glad to see you back, B. Ferg. We definitely know who you are, man. I mean, we don't know you, but we know you. Hopefully we see you pop up with some nice trades here and there. Remember, though, no pressure, no forcing, no chasing. And I'm not even just talking to BFERG, but I know you guys are the same. You know, if you take a couple days off or you come back from the weekend or let's say even the week before, like BFERG, for example, you know, you were busy and you didn't have that week to trade. Well, you're probably going to have a lot of pent-up energy, but a lot of built-up, you know, just I got to trade everything kind of energy, you know, as soon as you get back to the charts again that next week when you do have time. And it can definitely cause some pain. So just reassuring everybody who is or has that kind of feeling in them right now, you know, just focus on what's important. Focus on the levels. Right now we're looking for 460s to hold. Buyers are in control of that a little bit so far, but we're just reacting to a zone onto the bigger time frame and the smaller time frame. We can see that both here. We can see it here. We can see it here. We can see it here. So, yeah, you should be a little bit more bullish than bearish because of what the market's been doing lately. But if you're looking for a day trade, though, you need to be very careful of this area because this could actually be where the high of day could end up residing at. So just keep your focus on that 460s area. It's not just the line, it's also the zone. Now, if I was to get multiple higher lows holding over this or multiple higher lows holding over this, yeah, let's get in. Leave a loose stop. But right now, right at the open, price is trying to settle. It's trying to get its norm. This is what I call like it's finding its normality, and you'll find this in the weekly watch list this week. By the way, who all read that this week? Make sure to read the weekly watch list. Go check that out if you have not already. But I type it up myself every single week. We have 8 of them now. It's been a lot of fun. Sometimes I include stuff from Daffy. Sometimes it's just me. I think next week I'm going to include some ideas from a couple of my members who are in Lifetime to show people all the swing ideas people include. But I hope you guys all checked it out because I try to make it like 16, 17, 18 pages each time because it feels like it's the right amount, but there's always just a plethora of charts and links and breakdowns and everything, so I do hope you enjoy it, and I hope you check it out when you have time. But a lot of what I was talking about right there kind of tied into that is why I went into a different direction with that. But the stock finding its normal. It's trying to be normal right at open. It's trying to be balanced, trying to you know, whatever you want to call that. That's what price is trying to do right at the open. A lot of the time, too, especially when you get these lower opens that aren't, like, super significant. Like, this didn't gap down $6 or a couple dollars. This gapped down, like, 50, 60 cents. And same thing for when we go up. You know, like, it's... If we would have done this, but to the upside, I'd be saying the opposite to you guys right now. I'd be saying, guys, look for more buyer moves with higher lows here. We're already over it. You know, just basically looking for buyer pressure to continue. It's already there. You're just looking for it to continue. But this one, it's a little different. It's the exact opposite because we gap down. So you're looking for buying pressure to show up right at the open, not just present itself and continue holding over the first 2 hours of the market, but also has to show up now because of this slightly lower open. So no, not that significant of a gap, but it does give you a little bit of info that sellers have shown up a little bit more than buyers over the weekend. Now, is that money rotating? Most likely. You know, it's not that significant of a gap. But the Qs are holding. I'd like to add the triple Qs are holding. This is a pretty big sign here that they want to break out. See, this is what SPY should look like before they want to move up more. But they're under their zone. You see the big difference here? That's your main difference on the market the past couple of days, to be honest. And that's how you know money's rotating. Whether it's out of tech, whether it's into tech, whether it's out of tech, just for that couple weeks to go right back into it. You know, no one ever knows exactly, but that's how you can tell. No, holy shit. AMD's looking really good. Damn. Look at that hammer on the 5-minute. Continuation after they slowed down. AMD is ripping. Oh, yo, thank you, Chew Poppy. He shared the thing. He said, reminder from your weekly watch list. It says, the mental breaker is the worst and everyone experiences it. Take care of yourself. Do not go for setups you imagine or put emotions into. Trade like a cold computer, making decisions based on the system, not off of your emotions and hopes/dreams. Preach, preach. Thank you, Chew Poppy, for resharing that. And buyers are showing up a little bit more here on SPY. This is a great sign. Let me zoom this in a little bit more. There we go. How's everyone in stream? What's everyone looking at? I know you guys are looking at me watch SPY and a lot of the SPY weights. I'm trying to go through most things as I can. What's everyone looking at? Good morning. Forgot my headphones, so I'm just dropping in and wishing everyone a good day. And don't forget to like the stream. Thank you, Don. Do appreciate you. Good morning, BB fam. No trade today. Hitting the like and off to office now. Hope y'all banking. See you later, Mikey. See, I love this. We just have people who just randomly come in, and even though they know they're not going to be here, they still take those couple moments to come in here, like the stream, and drop some positivity. I love that. Thank you to everybody who does that. Thank you, Mikey. Watching crowd above 246.60s. Apple trying to reclaim open. I forgot to mention I got a Costco membership this weekend. Major adulting milestone in my opinion. No, it is, dude. Costco membership's actually kind of lit. Looking at the road. Shout out to Jack, by the way. I messaged him and thanked him personally, but I wanted everyone to know that he actually went into the Discord stream, and this is kind of why I gave some of those people like leadership roles in the chat. It's because some of these people are slowly over time going to be leading the community. People like Jack, people, I'm not even going to say who, but tons of people in the server, though, that have certain roles, you know, and these people are just on their own journey. And Jack took it upon himself to stream in the Discord the other day and go over a couple ideas for everybody who wanted to tune in. So I thought that was really cool. Shout out to Jack. Shout out to people like Jack in the community who are building it up from the ground. Get a hot dog? No, that's a great question, though, Ace. Timmy, did you get a hot dog? Did you get a glizzy? We are all leaders here. Priest H. Preach. Priest. Priest Ace. Oh my gosh. Try to say preach and then ace 3 times fast. I swear you'll mess it up once. I missed it. Had my... Oh, in-laws. I don't know why I was about to read interviews. I missed it. Had my in-laws visiting at the wrong time. Thanks, boss. Hope people enjoyed. Preach ace. No, I didn't. Oh my god. Ace equals king of smartass. I hope they did too, Jacko. I hope you had a lot of fun. Damn, rest in peace to Leland. He's sick. It's good knowing him. I was a good guy, man. It was good knowing Leland. Rest in peace. By the way, guys, and this is not me hyping the course. I'm genuinely serious. I am genuinely serious when I tell you this. Leland this past weekend made probably the best trading video I think I have ever seen personally. And I'm not joking when I mean if you were to go to the internet and try to find a video just like this, you wouldn't. I'm not joking. I don't think I'd be able to recreate it myself. So I genuinely cannot wait to release the course, because this video is going to change a lot of how a lot of you trade. And this is kind of like what I see as a problem for a lot of people in chat. It's not just like a couple people. And I feel like this is a decent problem. It's not like it's... we must be getting data or getting close to data. Oh, we have bond auction today. My bad, guys. We have bond auctions today and tomorrow. If you click the weekly watch list, you'll see all the news breakdowns. But bond auction. What was I saying? Oh, best trading video I've ever seen. So I can't really tell you what this video is on, because I really do want to surprise everyone here. But a lot of people in our community, at least, have really good entry, have really good intuition, have a really good game plan going. But then you guys choose like a contract that just doesn't make any sense, and then it's like you're fighting against yourself. And then you're like, why am I only making like a few bucks here and there? Or why am I only making this or that on these trades, but I'm doing great on my entry and exit, or blah, blah, blah. Or maybe your entry's really good and your exit can get a little bit of touch-up work. But this extra topic, though, that adds into that will help a lot of those people who feel like they have good entries, decent exits. Maybe you can work on your exits a little bit. Maybe you're doing market orders instead of a limit order, or maybe you're experiencing slippage, or maybe you're just selling too late and then, you know, it's hurting you because you're selling too late. But overall, this video is insane. I really wish I could go into more detail, but I really can't. But I'm not joking. Course number 2, and it's funny because a lot of it is like just a mix of things that me and Leland are covering. But there's a couple of things in here that I think will open your eyes and you'll be like, wow, I need to watch this 100. Like, I'm probably going to watch this video I'm hyping up 100 times myself until everything just like clicks perfectly, which even if it does, I'll watch it another 100 times, because this video is insane. I genuinely cannot wait to show everybody, because it is amazing. Lung, throat plugged up. No, I really don't know what he has, to be honest with you. I don't want to say, but he said he probably has like a cold or it feels like COVID. But then he said it feels like death, so that's why I'm saying rest in peace. And I don't know if he was wanting me to share that or not, but I just love Leland. I hope he's okay. And I know a lot of you guys like Leland too. Will it be posted on your YouTube? No, it'll be on the second course. When the course comes out, it'll be part of that information. But honestly, this video is so good. After the course is out, I might have to release this video on its own, by itself, because I'm really not joking. There's not another video like this on YouTube. I don't think Leland knows that either. I was trying to tell him that. I was like, look, dude, I've literally never seen anybody make a video like this. This is better than the release of GTA 6? Yeah, because it'll actually come... This video will actually come out. GTA 6 might not ever come out. If you know, you know. And yes, I do believe the bond auction is later today, Zeke. I think I was wrong on that. I was just seeing the candle move so fast. I was like, well, maybe it's news. Holy crap, dude. I need to get all these pop-ups off my computer. Jesus Christ. We got Thinkorswim doing it. Okay, so we got one at 10:30 and noon. Those are your bond auctions for the day. And then you have one more for the 30-year and CPI tomorrow. You have core and non-core CPI data coming out month over month and year over year. Bond auction. Nobody cares about this guy talking. Wednesday, you got OPEC, PPI, core PPI, both month over month and year over year. You have crude oil coming out. You have the rate statement, which is probably the most important news of that day. And then economic projections from the Fed, which comes out at the same time. Thursday, you got jobless claims, retail sales, jobless claims, imported price month over month, core retail sales, that one's kind of important, and business inventories month over month. And then Friday, which I was hoping would be a light day, but I think today's our only real light day, even with bond auction news. Friday, though, you have industrial production month over month, and then you have services PMI flash and manufacturing PMI flash. You have a lot of just data coming out this week. And then next week, you'd think I'd be done saying that. Next week, you have even more news and even more Fed speakers. There are an insane amount of Fed speakers next week, and we'll get into that on the next weekly watch list. I'll have all that broken down. But there is a lot of people talking next week. So I genuinely hope this is the week that we get a lot of movement, and it could give you movement. And why I say that is because we've had consolidation, nice move up, slow down. Consolidation, nice move up, slow down. Consolidation, nice move up, slow down. Consolidation, nice move up. So, I mean, at any point, this is about to move really, really nice towards 465, or this is about to slow down and come right back down to 453. We're about to do one of these two moves very soon. Yep, that is your news for the week. Again, guys, you have the weekly watch list. I cannot stress this enough. I make this myself. Please go check it out. But it gives you news, earnings, all kinds of cool little facts about whatever, SPY breakdown, everything. So if you want, plus it's a good place to go check for news if you don't remember what's happening this week. I retype it all out, so it's very quick and vague to look at. Cardi and Leland dropping before GTA 6. Yeah, hello, Bulls. You are right. They showed up pretty nice timing, too, because remember this aggressive pullback? Did you guys see where it was, like, going to fight? It was going to fight the today's open. And remember how we were talking about a low and then the higher low, and then if as long as they hold this, we're looking decent towards 460, and then 460 battles can happen, blah, 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 past that. Well, that's what they did. I mean, they came right back down, held this again, held the higher low, built back off of it, even with this aggressive pullback. It's almost like it was there just to trap people in. Because the true bearish trade wasn't until the break of this. So they were kind of stuck there. Nice move back up by Bulls, though, giving buyers a chance to try and push through 460.75. That 5-minute hammer is nice, but not touching anything to the upside until we clear prior day supply. Golden pocket and open. Good idea. Today's open was my stop, added calls, and got out 5% of the port. Good job, Blackout Gambler. And I like your plan, too. Very simple, very, very basic, but it's very effective. And I think too many people think, oh, I have to have a complex game plan. Look at Blackout Gambler. He just typed out about a sentence, and it made so much sense. Today's open was a stop. He added calls, got out for 5%. He liked how the open was. Great job, Blackout Gambler. All credit to you, man. That was a very nice trade. Golden Pocket open was in regard to the pop down by bears. Oh, okay, my bad. Bounced right off of 459.65. Holy 5-minute wick. Thanks, bud. No problem, man. I honestly just love seeing you win. And thank you for also posting your review. You know, you could have just taken your profits and just got off here, but you still gave us that little bit of a review. So in case anybody might have been thinking of the same thing and didn't take it, might give them a little bit of validation with what you just did. And that's kind of what we're doing here, really. You're kind of empowering each other. Like, we're all trying to do the same thing, but none of us are ever going to be, you know, at a point where I'm like, oh, I'm doing better than Blackout Gambler, and Blackout Gambler's doing better than Peoples, and Peoples is doing better than Dondu. Like, it's not about that. It's not about doing better than other people in here who are trading the same system. It's about empowering each other, right? So let's say I hesitated too much, and I didn't like that. It just wasn't my style of trading. I just decided to wait and just watch. But then Blackout Gambler takes that trade, and maybe in my head, I thought it was a good idea at the time and just didn't do it. He ends up doing it, succeeds, takes profit, and then talks about it. Now I can look at that and go, you know what, that did work out. You know, maybe I'll try that next time with the very light position or blah, blah, blah. You know, giving myself confidence, giving myself validation. And this is what everyone should be doing every time you see someone post a review, every time you see someone post a game plan before the market opens. That's how you should treat it. Treat it to empower yourself, not as competition. Who gives a fuck if somebody made $5 or $100 more than you? You should be happy for them. I said, I hope you feel alright, Leland, in a few days. Please get some rest. I said, no snowboarding, no surfing, or skydiving. And then D-Touch says, or bear wrestling. Leland really is like Nitro Circus all in one person. My game plan is to throw it all on black and then post the red crying wood. Oh my god. Exactly, we're all on the same team. I hope Fool's on the same team as us. We're gonna get you back on track, Fool, and then you're gonna change your name, and we're gonna peel back the layers of the Fool, and we're gonna understand who the real you is. One way or another. Potential lead test here. Oh, good looks, good looks. You're talking about from the drop. Nice. I think one thing that's kind of keeping me from entering calls or puts is honestly this 460. Like, it looks really good on the 15-minute for calls, but then you look at your 1 minute, your 5 minutes, like, this could be a slowdown. And then your daily just kind of telling you, hey, we're at that next zone. So really, that one's not really affecting your trade. But side 2 charts telling me slow down. Top right chart says super bullish. So you got a couple different signals happening right now. Feel better, birthday bro. Yeah, I hope Luthen's okay. Don't bother him too much this week, tagging him or anything. He's going to be sick, but also he's been working on the course, so I feel like he deserves the rest from all of us for a little bit. I think once y'all see his video, y'all will be like, oh, okay, I could see why he got sick. Never mind. I'm thinking we mainly just stay inside of Friday's price action. I want failed lead tests. And guys, what is a bad, what is an invalidated bear trade that becomes a really good bullish trade? What's an invalidated bullish trade that becomes a really good bearish trade? So remember that as well. Good job remembering that. Let's go to a couple different charts. I gotta see what else is going on. Triple Qs are actually doing very well. Still doesn't look like Apple's participating with that either, nor Microsoft. Your top 2 tech weights are not doing anything, and Qs are doing well. So keep that in mind. Apple and Microsoft haven't really participated today. Daffy said breakfast money. And yes, at the bottom right, I am just leaving that SPY chart there. I can't. I'm tired of moving that one. So I'm just going to leave it there. Yeah, I'll restart my application after I'm done streaming, dude. Maybe if your app didn't suck so much. Coin with the gap down, I think all of you know exactly why. Of course, this past weekend, or Sunday night, as a lot of crypto traders like to call it, hell. Crypto slowed down finally. Dropped about, what was it, like 5% in like 5 minutes, or 10% in 5 minutes? It was something crazy like that. But dropped very quickly is what I'm getting at. Lowering volume across all time frames. Good looks. Rug pull by more. AMD new 52-week high. That is crazy. Triple Q 40 cents away from this rally highs. Good luck, Zeke. Triple Qs, man, they're grinding up despite the weakness in some of its top weights. You cannot deny that. It is doing very well. If Apple or Microsoft were to ever just pick up, that chart could go flying. Also, I'd like to add, SPY is finally looking a lot better now after its couple dips, but it has maintained holding multiple higher lows like we talked about on the 1 and the 5 minute, even though it looks super ugly. So yeah, it's not going to look pretty, but it's definitely holding multiple higher lows on pretty much every time frame we looked at for the smaller intraday time frames. So we'll see if this continues, but buyers are definitely present with the possibility of making really, really good pushes soon. We'll see, though. Do they give it out here? Do they hold and continue higher? They're definitely not making it easy for new trades. Yeah, small risk. I like that. No, I like that. Nothing crazy. I definitely like buyers here a lot more than sellers, that's for sure. Until we see something else. That 15 minute is shaping up very well, too. In about 4 minutes, that top right chart will close again, and then you'll see that candle close. And right now, it looks great. Just kind of sucks we're in supply. You're in an area where there are definitely sellers. But they are slowly building higher lows, so it keeps kind of giving you that extra confidence just slowly over time. But you still do need to see more from buyers to give you that more confident, solid move. But this isn't a bad start for them. Does that make sense to everybody? I'm trying not to, like, sound biased. I'm also trying to, like, give you good reason for why this looks like shit still. Without saying it looks like shit, because I mean, it's not really good to have that negative mindset. You shouldn't say chop. You shouldn't say it looks like shit. You shouldn't say this is garbage price action. You shouldn't say any of that. And I know some of you guys are just being vague, but it's still nice to just keep that positive mindset. Like I was, just kind of breaking down what is happening, what does it feel like, what do bulls need, what do bears need, and then really trying to sell yourself on, all right, well, what is it? Is it bullish or bearish? If you really can't decide, then guess what? You should be sitting cash. Give yourself a scenario that does make you bullish or bearish. And yeah, cost, holy. Bulls holding another short-term golden pocket right now, too. Good looks, good looks. Oh my god. Trader says, shit, garbage price action chop. Oh my gosh. Combined all three. Bullish on AMD. I agree. AMD is a beast. AMD is a beast. Y'all should check out AMD's daily chart. I think it'll freak you out a little bit. You'll be like, damn, we're already back up here? Chop. Yeah. 40% take profit on crowd. Took it at the break of 246.60s. Took profit at 248s. Great job, Jay. That was a free call out by him in the chat. After taking his swing gains, too. He had multiple swing gains that he took profit on. He called out what he wanted to see happen on crowd and then took it. Amazing job, Jay. Seriously, round of applause to you. That is amazing. All he typed in chat was that we have multiple higher lows from the open. Learn from the best? Shut up. You learn from your own journey, Jay. I'm always going to take you back and give you your own credit because, man, you're incredible. I hope you keep killing it. Okay, I'm going to focus on work. Someone yell at me when we break previous day high. SPY trying new highs. Daffy said, I'm in a super risky 463 call, 0 DTE on SPY. I'm seeing a lot of you guys in positions, which is okay. More of you are bullish than bearish, which is also okay. Just make sure you have invalidation points. At what point does this chart say, hey, you know what? I was wrong. What point does this chart say, hey, you know what? I was right. Let me take profit. Have both of those points on your chart marked out and stick to it. My bad, fool. I keep skipping over some messages. He said, want a laugh? Look into why onion futures are no longer allowed. Why do I feel like I know this one? Wasn't it because, like, onions, like, went bad or something, and they were like, well, the volatility of onions going bad is too crazy, and we can't track this on prices, and blah, 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 blah. It's like, bro, what about the other commodities? I think that's why it was, at least. Let me look this up. Holy crap, I was right. I mean, my little breakdown was a little bit more vague than the answer, but the Onion Futures Act was passed in 1958 to ban futures trading in onions. The act was sponsored by Congressman Gerald Ford of Michigan. The Commodity Exchange Authority stated that onions' perishable nature made them vulnerable to price swings. The act was passed after a market manipulation scandal. Two onion traders, Sam Siegel and Vincent Kasuga, probably abused both of those names just now, manipulated the market and drove some farmers into bankruptcy. What asses. In 1955, Kasuga and Siegel shipped so many onions to Chicago to depress prices that there were onion shortages in other parts of the United States. They made millions of dollars on the transaction due to their short position on onions futures. The Onion Future Act remains in effect today. Onions remain on the list of regulated commodities until 1974. This is not professional financial advice. Consulting a financial advisor about your particular circumstances is best. Thank you, generative AI. Appreciate that. We know you're not. That's pretty funny. Okay, so my guess wasn't that far off. I was pretty in line. I think I remember reading about that one day. Morning, everyone. Tuning in late today. Glad to see you, Matthew. Regardless of the time. But very interesting read, fool. Thank you for asking me to look that up, because that was kind of funny. Well, to me. I don't know about everybody else here. That was pretty cool. I thought it was because when the onion market had choppy days, it made the investors cry. That's a good one. Two guys bought up all the onions in the market, and then... Okay, yeah. Then half the onion farmers in the United States. It's pretty crazy. Yeah, that is nuts. Man, they were like the Michael Burrys before Michael Burry, and they had like that insider Nancy Pelosi effect. They were like Michael Burry and Nancy Pelosi all in like two people. Also, crazy time in the markets too during that time. It said 1955. That is a very long time ago, but it's funny because things weren't as well regulated, I should say. I'm not going to say they weren't regulated, but they weren't as well regulated, so it was really hard to track stuff like that. It probably took a while to catch those dudes. Man, that's wild, though. That is that must have been the craziest percentage ever. They just kept shipping onions to places they knew would go bad before they got there. Next thing you know, you got a bunch of bad onions. Everybody reports it. Onion prices go down. The short position starts profiting. It's genius, but also very, very, very illegal. It's like, it's genius. Yeah, but it's wrong. All right, so multiple higher lows again. Every time we make a higher low, I want to see y'all say from open higher low, from open higher low, from close lower high. And we have 1, 2, 3, potential fourth. Each time making a new high, too. Apple trying to print a hammer on the 5-minute. Good looks. And yeah, definitely want to pay attention to those because these two charts haven't participated at all. Besides the initial drawdown. So if you ever see Apple or Microsoft pick it back up today, that would be a very good sign for that triple Q chart because they're holding very well even without their help. which in turn would help SPY a lot. Because they're also holding higher lows without the help of SPY or Microsoft, or Apple and Microsoft, I should say. Nvidia also really isn't helping out much either. You really had AMD doing a lot of the pumping in that semiconductor area. You had Costco. I see some of our XLC weights aren't doing too bad, but then you got Netflix holding very well. Honestly, this looks like it wants to skyrocket like any minute, and if it doesn't, it's going to be very bad because how many times they've held 1, 2, 3, 4 higher lows and then they fail, that would be very depressing for buyers. We'll see though. It looks like buyers are still holding. Price wicked right off the bullish golden pocket through my chart on trade floor. Good looks, good looks. Damn, good job, Noxta. He had Etsy at 100%, crowd at 115%. Etsy and crowd. I'd love to see you guys trading like all kinds of tickers too. Oh, you're good, Taylor. I think we all knew you meant high or low. But you said bullish GP. If anybody still read low or high and thought that was wrong, they just didn't read the first sentence. If you say bullish golden pocket, it's we all know we're up. We all know high or low, so you're good. Well, at least we should know that. Microsoft very tight at the moment. Apple trying to print a hand. Oh, I already read that. I have to be PC here. Man, they're definitely making this slow, but I can't lie. This looks so cool. It's just a bunch of higher lows. They had the ugliest chart ever, and they're still holding it very well. They had some of their top weights, and they're still holding very well. But I'd also like to add this, guys. If the strength... So we've been talking about what if Apple and Microsoft start picking up. Let's also talk about the opposite scenario, which is not as likely, but it is still very possible. If Apple and Microsoft were to stay where they are, and all of our weights like we see now, and then the ones that were holding us where we are now started giving up, we would have the opposite effect here. We'd be selling off very, very harshly. So very careful with that in case the floodgates are ever let open, per se. Move stop up in case the high not popping with strength. Good luck, Zeke. I like that. Ruined my trade because you screwed up. Good stuff, though, guys. Good stuff, Zeke. I like that. Limiting yourself, optimizing your plan as price moves on, because things have changed. More time's gone by. I would say, though, I like how the 5-minute has started setting up a lot more, as well as the 15. You just need to really get out of this zone. We're stuck in an area where there are sellers. So we need to see a better move past this, even with these higher lows giving you confidence. And that's why people like Zeke, a couple people in chat, have taken small positions, not full positions, because they see the potential in this, but they don't want to just get into a full-size position because that just wouldn't make any sense. This is called awareness, having awareness of not just what you're going for, but of yourself. Mel just straight up said inputs. Should have done that when I got in. Hey, you got it next time, though, paper hands. Timmy just straight up says, no, Mel, shut up. Don't sway the market. Def got to work on scaling in and out of trades instead of all out at once. It's definitely a hard thing, and that's generally why the staircase method exists. And paper hands, I'm sure you probably heard this a million times. I'm not trying to annoy you, but that's why the staircase method exists. You know, if you get into, let's just say you're a new trader. Let's be in the mindset of like you've never traded before in your life. You have a system in front of you. You've been practicing with like mental reps and getting the levels and understanding, all right, what you want to go for. But let's say you finally get into actually trading, right? Let's be realistic here. How would you fare if we were in one contract, and then how would you fare if we were in 50 of them? You'd probably trade a lot differently. You'd be a lot quicker if you had 50, right? And you'd probably trade like a gambling addict if you had one, because as a new trader, as you see the chart, you're like, wow, the sky's the limit. I'm only buying one. I'll only lose this much if I lose. Like, it's like a loser's mindset kind of thing. So you really do have to, and I'm being very vague here, so please bear with me. But if you get into one contract, you need to get really good at selling one contract. You need to get really good at finding your entry, getting in, setting a stop, or understanding where you want to have an invalidation to sell out at if it goes against you. Also, if it goes with you, if it goes for you, if it goes in the direction you want it to go in. Have a target that makes sense to you. Oh, I'm breaking above pre-market high and we're under the previous day highs. Awesome. This is a 40% entry. I'm getting in, and my stop's at the pre-market high. I'm going to sell at the previous day high or get close to it and sell towards it as soon as I see slowdown. So that's one thing, getting really good at one contract and then doing that for a long time. I think too many people get into that and they think, oh, I'll just do this for a couple weeks till I'm comfortable. No, you need to do this for a few months. You need to do this for a few months at the very, very least. If it takes longer than that, so be it. Don't ever, rush yourself or press yourself just because you feel like you're not growing fast enough. One contract is fine because this is getting you in, and you're really practicing your system. You're not really going into this thinking, oh, I'm going to get 50 contracts here. I'm going to get rich today. I don't ever need to trade again, blah, blah, blah. No. You need to take this very slow. And that's why I call it the staircase method, because that's like step one, right? Well, step one's really like getting your system, your levels, and then step two is really getting into this. Step three, buying multiple contracts. Let's say you buy 3. You're up to 3 now, right? And we get to our first target. What do? Do we sell all 3? And like you just said, you don't want to sell all of them. You want to get better at scaling in and out. This is exactly what this is for. As soon as you get to that first target, where you used to sell 1 contract, now you're buying 3. Now you're selling 2 of your contracts there, and you're leaving 1. You're covering the cost of that one, or giving it a better chance, giving it more room to go, right? You could set a looser stop or even tighten your stop if you really, really want to limit yourself. And then try to see where can you take that last contract. Does it end up invalidating and cutting at your stop loss that you set? Does it end up going up further and hitting your target? You can sell that last one. And that would be, again, like step 3. Again, having multiple contracts. And then you can see where I'm going to go from this. Buying more, scaling out more. And doing this over time. But you could see, if you were to skip a couple of those steps and go straight into 5, 7 contracts and trying to do that, you'd be a train wreck. You'd have no idea what you're trying to do because you didn't do the first couple steps. You don't understand the basics of it, right? And I'm not talking about you personally. I'm just talking about everybody in general. It would be impossible. You wouldn't have any chance of succeeding, or unless you got lucky, with scaling out because you don't know what you're doing, right? So that's why we need to start with 1. Get really good at 1. When I say get really good, I mean be comfortable with how you're trading it. Be comfortable with the contract you're grabbing every time. Be comfortable with the system you're trying to trade, right? So if you're in this and you're like, well, I really suck at 40% entries, so I got away from those and now I'm doing 80%. That's great. There's nothing wrong with that. That's totally fine. But limit yourself to what you practice. But thank you for pointing that out, because honestly, I love how you said that. And everyone's like that. I feel like I say that to paper hands, but I'm literally talking to everyone, because everyone does that. Everyone gets into this zone where they're like, you know what? I'm going to start getting into more contracts. I want to start making more money. And it's like, okay, but are you ready for that? And have you even been practicing with just 1? Because too many times I see people, they'll complain about they suck at scaling out. And I'm like, well, how many contracts are you doing? They're like, well, I got 3 or 4. I'm like, okay, well, that's not the worst. So what's your problem here? And then I'll ask them, have you ever traded with just 1 contract? No, I didn't want to do all that, blah, blah, blah. It's like, well, bro, there's your problem. You're just skipping steps. You can't just jump straight into doing that. Some of my best trades is holding 1 con. Yeah, everybody always freaks out when Daffy posts like 1,000%, 500%, 400%, but I don't think people realize the hard work it took to get there, Like, he's been doing this with his initial trade, just getting 20, 30%. Over time, he's allowed himself, given the chance, to buy more contracts, sell most of them at certain targets that are a lot closer, and then it gives him the chance of making that last one go a lot farther for his swing trades. And then that's what brings in that 400 or 500%. Everyone's always like, oh my god, Daffy's so rich, like, he's so lucky, he keeps catching these big moves. Like, no, he's not. He's literally working his ass off to get these moves. He's not lucky at all. And I think some people see those trades and they're like, they ignore them because they don't understand them. They don't trust them. They see them and they're like, oh my god, he's making those big gains. Like, dude's not making that much money every trade, right? People don't believe that stuff. I don't believe that stuff, right? But when you see the process and you understand what's going on behind the scenes, like, okay, he had multiple contracts, he sold them all, he's in his last one, he's going to whatever target he can reach. And then that's when some of those big moves happen, because he's been in the trade long enough to where that direction finally picks up sometimes. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it goes against him, he cuts, whatever. The trade was just slightly profitable. But then he has those trades where the runner is the one that completely just dominates, and you end up getting a lot of extra profits, and it makes it very nice. I don't believe in luck. Exactly. And there is no such thing as luck, to be honest, when it comes to the market. Now, when you see those big gains, a lot of the time, that is hard work. Meets opportunity. That has nothing to do with luck a lot of the time. But guys, that second scenario tried picking up, actually. Apple got more weak. Microsoft's still not really helping. And you had SPY cascade down a little bit with the triple Q slowdown right there. So this is still not out of the woods yet. Bulls still have this. But the second scenario that I talked about, where if Apple and Microsoft kept selling or everything else slowed down and these did never pick back up, this could bring us down back to the low of day. But right now we're back at that support, so we'll see if this ends up holding or not. Triple Qs look a lot better than SPY. VWAP retest on SPY and triple Q, or the Qs, good looks, good looks. I love this potential bullish retest on triple Q, to be honest. The 1 minute looks a lot better. The 5 minutes looking all right. Need to see it pick up a little bit more basing on both those time frames, and then you can really see some movement to the upside. And SPY, even with this, you know, it's in the supply rejecting. It didn't really break anything again. We're still holding our potential higher low trend. So if they can pop another high here, that will complete the trend in saying, yeah, we're still going up. No lower low was ever made. Nice bounce off of it. Let's get new highs. Exactly. Good look, Zeke. Right on it. Lyft is mooning. And then, okay, my bad, I was reading that wrong. He said Vanessa pointed that out on the last stock talk, on the previous stock talk. Okay, nice. And yeah, guys, when you were in there with Daffy or Jack or any of the other leaders in the chat and stock talk, feel free to post charts that you're going over with them or anybody in the post charts channel, And it's not really for others to see, like, oh, what they talk about. It's really for you, because it can be really easy to, and I'll tell you from personal experience, it can be really hard, or really easy, I should say, to forget a lot of the TA that you covered a couple days back, or maybe you went over with a bunch of people, and in that moment, it was really easy to remember because you're all going over it. But then maybe you forget a couple pieces of it, as a couple days go by. So it's really nice to have it ready to go for you. It's not really necessarily for everyone else, but still. And guys, you did get your new high of day. Bulls are still in control. So we've been slightly bullish pretty much all morning, just with a little bit of hesitancy throughout most of it, but really nice trend so far. It's really hard to point out the trend when you have these lower opens and you have levels everywhere and zones everywhere. But if you can just point out what's going on, that'll help you a lot. And that's really all we've done today. If you go back through today's stream, all we've really covered is, oh, we had a lower open. Oh, we made a new low. Bears can take this. Oh, we popped. Then we held higher than today's open. Then we built base. When we came back down, yeah, it was kind of scary, but we were holding a higher low. Holding a higher low. Still holding a higher low. So it's nice to see them pop a new high, pretty much at the top of supply, and now we're at a part of the chart where the big decision is going to be made. Hopefully that makes sense, though. I wouldn't personally draw your lines like I just did. I was just doing it for visual example's sake. But does that make sense, everybody who's in stream? I just want to make sure everybody's on the same page. We all understand what's going on. Fair amount of disconnects in the market today. VIX, NASDAQ, SPY futures all have red candles. Futures and equities are mixed. Be careful as it could turn on a dime. Could just chop. Waiting for meetings. Good post by username. SPY over PMH, Microsoft trying to push, risking previous day high. Really need Apple to turn it around. Caught 20% on one triple Q contract. Oh, I don't know why I didn't read Daffy's message. He said, I don't believe in luck, but then he said, I believe in having people like you, Leland, D-Touch, and many others. Facts. That's really what I kind of play off of, too. It's just nice having a group of people that you more or less trust more than any other market tool around, Like, if one of you guys say, guys, SPY's breaking pre-market low and we're probably going to sell off if it retests underneath, I'm going to trust that 6,000 times more than reading some random tweet or random Instagram post or random, post on some news feed. I don't care about that stuff. That's not part of my system. But if somebody in my chat says, oh, we're breaking this, possibly test, blah, 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 I'm going to pay attention to it because that's a very good call out. It doesn't matter if it came from my mouth or from my screen or from my eyes. It doesn't matter if I was first. If I see someone else point it out, I'm going to go find it on my own and I'm going to go try to trade it. But How is everyone in the stream? Be sure to drop a like on the stream. Thank you, guys. I just realized we hit 50 likes today, and almost 200 people have joined into today's stream, which is insane. God, Jay is still going. Tough hold like the higher low. Hold of this fair value gap also. Should have just sold the current high day. Contracts are actually worth more and I wouldn't have had as much mental. Glad how I held and stuck to my plan. Let's see. Look at you, Jay. I gotta stop saying Jay because we got old Jay in here, we got new Jay in here, but both of you, I like both of you, so it's like I don't want to call one of you new, one of you old. Very nice job, Peoples. I mean, I'm not surprised by negative PLJ. He's a beast. Keep kicking ass. Huge percentages on multiple trades. Old J, you're doing great. New J, Peoples, great hold. I can see that our talk definitely stuck to your head a little bit because I feel like I'm watching the order of operations video looking at your trade. You know, we see that we have the lower open, we hold higher lows, you get in. Right? And then you see that we're pushing up again. We're holding more higher lows. You stay in. You don't let that fear you out of the trade. And I kind of think about it like this too. You know, if you're willing to take some of your like put plays that end up not ever doing anything, you know, you should do the same thing with this. You know, and it did. It just kept holding higher lows. It never gave you that reason to exit. And though it was a little scary on that latest dip before the pump, definitely very nice. Very proud of you for that post, Jay. You can definitely feel the like growth and maturity in people's post on that one. Very, very nice. A lot of posts by a lot of traders in here. We got Deep, Timmy, Daffy, Dondu, Jay. And they're not all winners. We got a couple losers in here too, but there are amazing reviews in here though. And this is really what everybody in here is good at, is holding themselves responsible openly. You know, that's what's going to help you get ahead of your problems in the future. Not now, of course. You're still working on them. Make it stop. A little gnarly. Thanks, Jay. The talk that really helped. Green last week, and I'll be green this week. And hey, if not, whatever. We're gonna look through it. We're gonna review. I flip short, tight stop loss again. If I get taken out, then I'll take a break. Totally fine, Zeke. I like your reasoning. Ace said, if I announce I'm buying calls, if I announce I'm buying puts, he said, buy calls. Enjoying the trades today. So far, so good. Good to hear, Daffy. And I'm glad you feel good about it, man, for real. You know, it feels good to win trades, but it feels really good when they make sense, too. So that's what really makes me happy about that. Good job, Daffy. Good relaxing Monday for you. And Daffy, I'm really speaking to you on this one. And this is something like me and Leland have to watch out for a lot ourselves. And you don't really have to tell a whole lot of people this because not everyone's going to be in this position, but you are. You're one of these people who like to type in chat as well and be responsible and post plays and ideas. Make sure you also cover your bases. You know, you don't need to always type every play you take. You know, if you want to just post what you want, that's fine. You know, no one's ever going to pressure you to being like, hey, Daffy, make sure you post at least one play every day. Like, me and Daffy never have these conversations. It's never like that. It really is, we post as we go, we post as we feel right, you know, so Just want you to know, don't ever feel pressure being in the chat. Don't ever feel pressure needing to post. I'm definitely never going to be hanging over your shoulder thinking, oh, make sure you post at least a couple times this week, Daffy, please. No, it's not like that. But I am also very happy to hear that you are relaxed. You've been enjoying it a lot, so that means more to me than anything, is that you're comfortable. Because if you're not comfortable, then it's going to be very hard to trade. But yeah, shout out to Daffy. What he does is not easy, and it can definitely be very stressful and straining on a trader. It's one thing to trade, it's another thing to trade openly. Tobias says, I am telling you, feel that pressure. I need 3 plays each session for me to save my year. He's joking, of course, everybody. That's funny. Shout out to Tobias, by the way. I don't know if I'll be able to help because I have a lot of things going on, but he's going to be doing a school for younger kids, learning stocks, learning about the financial markets, which is insanely cool. I feel like not enough people our age learn about this stuff. You got kids learning this stuff now? That's very nice. And guys, we have a new high of day. Buyers have remained in control. Even with that latest dip, you know, with how scary it was, they still held another higher low. And, even better, they held above 460.13. eBay has been on watch up 1.6 already today. Insane job, Jack. I do remember you posting that very heavily. $461, guys. We are smack dab in the middle of this range right here. The next supply area. So there's a very good chance they want to go touch the top of it. Will it all happen today? Who knows? But a very good sign to see SPY popping up out of range. We see Qs not just sitting in the 0.40% range again. They're actually almost going to 0.60% on the day. Very impressive. Excuse me. Apple getting some buyers. Microsoft pushing higher as well. Which, again, we talked about if these ever participate, it'll help out the market. So far, they've just been kind of doing nothing or even cascading lower. And it's been hurting the market. But now they've been moving up higher and it's helping. E to the Bay. Daffy said this is from YouTube stream. That plays up 16, almost 17%. So if anybody took that free call out from him. Oh, wow. He actually has a lot of buys in here. But you see, he worked up to this point. It's not like he always buys 20. Good job, though, Daffy. Oh, and right here, guys, if you want to go to the trade floor, it's free to see this channel, by the way. You can just read But posting higher lows from open, just kind of re-showing the messages, showing multiple higher lows right there, and then of course the original message that the 460s are holding. So very interesting morning. You could say it was ugly, you could say it was not pretty, but it definitely made sense. Also, and I didn't make this point earlier, I should have, but if you look at the next level outside of this zone, everybody, who's with me? What is that next level? Can anybody tell me? There's a couple correct answers, so feel free to fall into my trap. Make sure you are live, sending you... oh, you're talking about Leland. I'll check it here in a second, Leland. 1 second. I'm going to get done with my little quiz question, and then I'm going to go check out the quarterly chart on SPY. Leland just mentioned it. I told everybody you were sick, by the way, Leland. I'm sorry if you didn't want them to know that, but I told them that you weren't feeling good, and I told them to all send you positivity and to feel better and all that good stuff, because I do like you. I hope you're okay, Leland. Hope you survive. Please don't die. We need you. Thank you. A faraway level. Yes, correct. 462. So why the next level is 461.90, and then you have 462.07. This is the top of supply of the next zone, which again could be broken. Just because it's supply doesn't mean it can't be broken. But it's very interesting how the top of our supply, the highest probability target, is also lining up with our next emerging candle, with our next level of TA routine. So it's just cool to see both of those line up. You can see that already happened today once with the previous day close, Friday close being held as a higher low support. You can see 460 is the bottom of this next area between 460 and 462. So it's just kind of cool seeing all of our levels line up. Makes it a lot easier to look at. Makes it easier to remember. But yeah, 462 is most likely where this is headed, especially if they come back down and hold this, build any more buying pressure. But guys, buyers are already in complete control. This can keep going. All good in bed, just turned stream on. Oh, okay. Damn, he's Buellered up right now. He got the clammy hands and everything. Get well, son, Lee of the land. Posted all trades I took today on Trade Floor. I'm getting a little too excited with profit and I'm just going to lock in everything for the day and go do something else to get my focus off the market. Thank you, BB team. Have a great day. Everybody shout out to Hidden Land. I love seeing all my guys share their trades, share their open responsibilities of them getting in and out, being able to take care of themselves, the before, the during, the after, really showing the whole process. So regardless of being a new trader or a seasoned trader, it really doesn't matter. It's inspiring and motivating to see people like that posting in chat and being confident and following their trade plans and sticking to it. And also, I love what Jay said at the end of there. He said, I feel like I'm just kind of overexcited playing with his profits. And instead of just, feeling like he doesn't know what he's doing anymore, he can just take all of his profits off the table. He can walk away and he can go enjoy the rest of his day. It is not even 10 o'clock yet. We have been in here for an hour and a half. Round of applause, Jay. Round of applause. And maybe one day we can have Jay in the Reason Over Risk channel and isolate his plays a little more. But either way, Jay, I love you, man. I love seeing your plays. Thank you. That is one of the few people who have been around me since before this server ever existed. So it's always kind of a cool feeling seeing him win. Because he really has been here since the beginning of time. When Leland was in Egypt land, let my people go. All love Daffy, and yes, not saying I couldn't make more profit, but everyone should recognize when it's time to step away. Some people make good profit and get into that bias, and then they'll continue. Ah. This bias that they'll continue. Bring Jay, bring Jay. That they'll continue to win. Oh, okay. To continue that bias that they'll continue to win. And then it's like they're blinded to their own success almost. Zeke said, got stopped out. That was a really bad flip. Not bad loss money-wise, but I didn't have enough reasons to do so. Honestly, good review. I have nothing else to add on that. I'm not going to sit here and be like, yeah, you were dumb, bro. That was dumb that you flipped. You found one reason to flip, but I don't think it was enough to stack against why you shouldn't. And I think that's what you realized as well just now. Or not just now, but probably during the trade too. But your original thesis was correct, you know, talking about the higher lows, talking about the building up. And we were all correct, you know, waiting for Apple and Microsoft to show up at all. And they finally did just a little bit. You know, they really still haven't. So, still got a lot more to look at. But honestly, I love your review, Zeke, and I'm very thankful that you're being truthful, holding yourself openly responsible, because I feel like this is going to be why you increase doing good things, you create better habits, you know, or not even just create better habits, enforcing your better habits that you already have, you know. So I don't know. I feel like whatever, you know, you took that loss, move on. Your original trade was correct. Your flip was all right. It wasn't the best. It went wrong. You know, now you're moving on from that. And the whole way through, you never once lied. I feel like that's something 99% of people can't do. And so right now, you might feel like shit. You might feel like, well, I didn't lose a lot of money, but it's not about that. You know, we both know it feels like shit to lose, and it feels like shit. It feels like shit to go against yourself or to go against things and go against how you want to trade. So I understand that's probably why you might feel that way. But overall, you should still see that, you know what, at least I was being responsible. It was open. I was truthful. I didn't once sit here and lie to myself. And you're not sitting in these trades anymore. You know, you're already out of them. You're not still just lying to yourself and trying to sell yourself on how you should hold this and how it can be better and how it can come back and hoping and dreaming. So I'm in a sense, you're dealing with good problems is what I'm getting at. You're dealing with good problems. These are good problems to be working with compared to what you could be working with. Which I'm not trying to justify, hey, if you lose, just remember, you're doing better than that other idiot. No, it's not about that. It's like, just slowly staircase yourself up. Keep a positive mindset, be truthful, be open. Hold yourself responsible. Always in constant reminder that there is no person over your shoulder. It's not me. It's not God. It's not an angel. It's not a fairy. There's no one there. There's no disciplinary there for you. You have to get onto yourself. You have to hold yourself responsible. So if you don't, then you're just going to run buck wild, and you're going to make random trades, and you're going to lose a lot of money. So it's good that you're keeping yourself you're containing yourself is really what I'm getting at. I feel like not enough people give themselves credit for that either, or even realize that's what they're doing. You know, and that's what you do a lot. That's why I'm always happy to answer you and go over stuff with you, and I love seeing your name pop up because I know that you are trying. I know that you are actually trying. It doesn't matter about being right or wrong. It doesn't matter about making or losing money. You want to be right and it makes sense. That is what's important. 15-minute closing. Thank you, Timmy. Hope you're doing great, by the way, Timmy. I've been meaning to ask you about your injuries, man. You haven't said anything about them in a while, so I'm assuming you've almost fully recovered. I'm sure you're still feeling some pain here and there in the morning when you get up, but he said, give me the retest. This might have been your retest of the 460, to be honest, and this might have been your leave away move, but here on the 1 minute and 5 minute, you are definitely still possibly getting a retest move. Let's keep it on watch with Timmy, everybody. Let's go, Jay. I just saw it. Let's go, Daffy and Jay. So Daffy's call out from stream is up 50%. All of Jay's from the trade floor and the Discord are up all different percentages. I can't even name them all. But he traded like 6 different tickers. Good stuff, guys. I mean, I shouldn't even be updating. You guys are already doing it. Kick ass. I am, in fact, this brace is off, and I almost have full ROM in my wrist again. Golden pocket at 460.60. Awesome, Timmy. And my bad, I didn't mean to keep asking you about it, but I feel like I haven't asked you in a while, so I was genuinely curious. Very nice to hear that, though. Timmy's had some pretty cool things happen ever since he joined here, besides getting in a wreck, but he had a really cool story happen that I can't really talk about, but Timmy's a really cool guy. Y'all just need to know that. Timmy's very cool. And he's for the cause. The cause, like we're some rebellion. Golden pocket at 460.60. Good looks, good looks. Oh, you're looking of the recent breakout. Okay, okay. I see what you're doing. The wreck was probably the coolest. Jesus. Jesus, Crater. No chill. No chill. Zero chill. He said not because he got hurt, but because it's dope. I'm sure that was the word that went through Timmy's mind when he was in the wreck. Man, that was dope. Nah, I mean, it was kind of cool, though. Timmy is kind of like a badass in all of our eyes because of that. Timmy's like, we all shut up about this damn wreck? War hero. I can't lie, it wasn't an experience. See, he's not even lying either. He's like, it's alright, it's alright. Yeah, it hurt, but I lived. I'm not joking, like, him and Leland could legit start their own Nitro Circus gang. Rash hero. Ain't nothing gonna keep Timmy down. I'll do the cliff jumping. Jesus. Honestly, the guys that kind of freak me out are the ones that climb the mountains without any gear. They'll do like free climbing. And then they'll do, they'll have like the parachute on their back, and they'll just jump off the mountain with the parachute. It's like a little tiny one you pull out like last second, so you can do like a bunch of spins in the air, and it's like, okay, dude, you are literally trying to die as fast as you can. Those are the guys that freak me out. The ones that use no gear to climb, the guys that barely have a parachute to jump off, like those are the guys that are crazy. Yep, I saw that movie, Timmy. I thought that was pretty cool. No, I recommend it too. It's really good. I got into this like whole like climbing era, not like me climbing, but like some of those guys are very interesting. Like it's crazy how like the normal standard is using gear, is using all these lines, you know, hold yourself up, all these hooks that are in the wall that'll like literally never move unless God himself pulled them out. Like, it's crazy. That's like the normal standard of climbing. And then you have those guys who don't use any of that stuff. And if they fall, they're dead. Like, it's crazy. I will do a small cliff jump. Yeah, I'd probably do cliff jumping too. But I definitely would not do what I just said. I don't think I'd do that stuff where you are using no gear and you're just jumping off with just that little tiny parachute thing. It's like a glider. That stuff's crazy though. I'll tell you who blew up the most because of that stuff is GoPro. GoPro got some pretty crazy videos from all the Red Bull events, from all the like Nitro Circus type stuff, like where you have people just doing the craziest stunts all around the world. Like, that really helped out GoPro more than anything, because GoPro's captured like every second of all that stuff. Does anybody know GoPro stock? Is it just GP? It can't be. G Pro. Okay, how original. I was hoping it'd be like GP. No, I got filled and stopped in 1 second and price was moving away from my stop. You had a set stop, I'm assuming. If you had a set, like, limit stop, I was buying limit ask order and my limit doubled randomly. Ah, and then you went to go close it and then it was like, wait, and then it... B, what was it like trading in 2020? I'm assuming you're asking because of what I said on Trade Floor. Daffy said, this market brings back good memories of 2021. I said, it really does. Slow grind up. People always saying how we can't keep going up. It's the literal same vibes. Here, we'll just do this. Oops. Alright, so we'll do like a history lesson, I guess. Alright, so remember, guys, I didn't start getting into the market until during this part here. It was a little bit after 2018. I had not gotten into really anything that crazy. We had this really big dip. I believe this was China trade war. Yeah, this was like Trump era. And then you got into COVID. This is the COVID dip. And then we had the grind up. In 2018, it was pretty boring. I'm not going to lie. It was really just focused on trade war and Trump. That was it. And that was kind of the vibe up until here as well. And then it was all about COVID and healthcare and this and that, energy, Russia, this. And then it really did break into that very quickly. Each phase, of course, it wasn't just like, oh, day after day after day, there was a new piece of just event that was going to just end the world. But I will say this, and this is on the weekly chart, so it looks a lot closer. 2020 was pretty awesome, I won't lie, because you had this like initial grind up all year where everyone was like overly bullish. Like, I'm not joking you, everybody this year was just buying calls and holding. I don't think I remember a single person ever saying like, oh, I'm waiting for this to happen before I go short. I don't remember a single person ever saying they were going short, ever, like a single person ever. Everybody was just buying calls. They'd buy it for a couple months out, they'd hold it, it'd go up, they'd sell it. That was it. That was literally everyone's like trading. That's how everyone traded for like at least 2 years. Then COVID hit. Then it started getting a lot more rapid, and you had a really large mix of traders saying that they're not touching this until we go to like 200 flat. I remember people saying that very heavily, and then we almost did. We went all the way to about 220 and then bounced. And this is when I think Boeing had hit like $85 a share or 89 or 90 or something. It was very cheap, though. It was under 100. It was a double-digit stock, though, for a while. And that was like that was kind of my big indicator for stocks of like, damn, Boeing's down that much. Like, that's horrible. Because Boeing, McDonald's, like these were companies that held up very well even during this kind of shit, because it was just like companies that are never going to fail because we refuse to let them fail. Boeing will never fail. We'll bail them out 1,000 times over, because without Boeing, our company or our government doesn't work, our transportation doesn't work, other airlines aren't getting extra planes that they need. Boeing is a company that has to exist, whether we like it or not, whether you want it to or not, whether it's profitable or not, it does not matter, it has to exist. So that was like one of the really good indicators to go look at that time. And it had started doing the same exact thing. It had a spike up reversal. But 2020 was euphoria. 2020 was a year of feeling nothing, because it felt like just a grind up through 2019. You got to 2020 and then COVID hit, and it just felt like a fever dream. So you went from euphoria to fever dream. That's literally what it felt like the entire time. You felt like you were lost. You didn't know what to look for. A lot of weeks you found yourself not trading because you were just trying to figure out what the hell you wanted to do, because you had what might have been one of the largest pullbacks and largest, quickest recoveries in stock market history. This doesn't happen all the time. This doesn't happen a lot. V recoveries do not happen a lot. They're one of the most rare patterns to ever exist. But hopefully that helps answer some questions. I know some of you guys weren't here. Some of you guys were around and just didn't care. Some of you were probably around the markets and just didn't mind it, you know, whatever it was. But I know for a fact all of you knew of the world conditions during this time. No, it was. It is crazy. It was a crazy time, man. It was really hard for me too, because like I got into the market where everyone was buying calls. Like I'd never heard anybody ever shorting. I'd never heard anybody buying puts. And like we had known they existed, but nobody had ever really traded them that much, because it really was just a stock market that was going up all the time. With Trump as president too, everybody was in a different mindset. Like I think politically, everyone was like, "Oh my God, this guy's so aggressive," but he was making progression though on economic fronts, on foreign policy fronts, which was really good for our stock market. So it really put us in this like euphoric moment of like, damn, are we just going to keep going up thanks to this guy who's got really good business ideas? Like that's really what it was, is we had a businessman at the helm of our country. And that's what really kind of held things up. Now, I'm not going to say Trump was a good president. I'm not going to say Biden's a bad president. I have no opinions on presidents. I focus on the economic part of what they do and their foreign policy. And it's just kind of historical that Democrats don't have foreign policy and that Republicans do. It also kind of worked for Trump that he was also a good businessman, regardless of liking him or not. He did really good for our financial markets, whether you want to admit it or not. And again, you can hate Trump all you want, but he was great for the stock market. And so is Biden. Biden is great for the stock market in his own way. Every president's going to have their own positive and negative effect to the market. Certain areas aren't going to be looked at as much or cared about as much. Certain areas are going to be more invested into and more focused on. With Biden winning, it was energy stocks. Everybody, including myself, was talking about buy energy stocks. What's been the biggest killer this year and past couple years? Energy stocks. Now, was it straight because of him? No, it was because of a lot of other things as well. But that was the biggest focus on sectors, because that was the one that was going to most likely move the most based on him, based on what he's related to, what he's invested into, what their policies regard. Wow, dude, you like Trump? No. I liked Trump and I disliked him. I liked Biden and I disliked Biden. There's many great things about both of them. There's also many bad things to hate about both of them. There's positives and negatives to every president, regardless of who it is. And if you're getting your analysis on CNN and all that, you're probably not actually reading anything about who we're trying to talk about. Around that time when I was lightly introduced to the BB system, but I was too blown back by everything that was going on. Yeah, and see, that was another thing too. Like, it was really hard for new traders to get into the market, because we went from this like euphoric moment of we're just going up all the time to, oh shit, COVID. And it just became COVID this, COVID that. And it became such an easy excuse for everybody to just say, oh, we're going down because of that we did just keep going down. But also at the same time, a bigger damaging effect that no one ever talks about, by the way. The biggest damaging effect of that COVID drop was the hesitancy and liquidity. What do I mean by that? I mean that everybody who was in the stock market or had cash to get into the stock market did not get in, even with the big dip. Why is that? The amount of fear and catastrophe and confusion kept everyone out of reinvesting. So not that much money got reinvested besides big money and CEOs. And that's what really bounced everything back. It almost had nothing to do with retail traders. It had nothing to do with the overall market buying back. It was big money. So that was kind of a shame. And then it kind of led into this like moment of like, oh shit, like, well, I missed part of the rally. Let me wait for a retest. And then we just kept grinding up for most of 2020. After that dip in recovery, we just kept grinding back up. And then into 2021, we were pushing a new high and everyone felt like everything was erased again. Then we had our big reversal. Leland said, not just that, but the amount of panic selling during that drop. Yeah, people were selling anything and everything. They didn't care what it was at what price. People were just creating liquidity to get out of the market. At that time, you got to remember too, we went from a point in the market where it was like, I'm going to buy this next week. Then I'm going to buy that. I'm going to buy this. I'm going to buy that to, oh shit, I need to sell everything. Everything needs to be sold. To GME also, and the creation of Dogecoin. To be fair, Dogecoin had been pretty actively traded even well before Trump's office. Shit, Dogecoin was big 10 years ago. Actually, I don't remember when it came out, but it's been big for a while. Even when I had a job, it was really big. Dogecoin wasn't always what it was though, so I think before it really was a joke. Then it became this like FU to like big money. Now big money's a part of it. It's like, it's not really an FU anymore. It really is just a meme now. Triple M, another nice bounce after the dip. Missed it today. Would have been a wild time. Market's tough now. Can't imagine what was that. Honestly, guys, like, you should never think about the markets being harder or easier. Now, if you want to go off like historical data, yeah, this is probably one of the most difficult markets to understand, one of the most difficult markets to truly track down. But you got to remember what kind of place we're in the world, as well as on the economic side of things. You know, where is everything? Our jobs market is strong, right? But we have certain data and inflation that needs to come down over time, and it's going to take a lot of time, right? So yeah, slowly time will heal, I guess is what I'm trying to get at. But also, the other outer-lying effects that are happening, Russia, Ukraine, you got the Middle East, you got Taiwan still. So you got a lot of things still happening in the world, which means everything's volatile, right? Which means everything can be hectic for a lot longer. Does that make sense? So if you're not finding better, healthier market conditions, that's okay. Wait. So even if this does recover and make new all-time highs, okay, great. You know, you missed your chance on getting really good lows, but it's not going to be the last time. There's always going to be another time. Don't jump the gun, don't chase, don't have FOMO, none of that. Also, I would also like to add the news has done a really good job at kind of keeping quiet about the Middle East, Taiwan, and Ukraine, because that has kept a lot of noise off the market. But if anything was to ever pop up again or anything ever escalates, it definitely could bring the markets back down again and you could see a sharp reaction. Now, will that ever happen again? It could. It couldn't. Who knows? Sitting on hands all morning, Timmy said in calls. Zeke said testing, SPY is testing Friday's close. He said see if it holds. That's that 460.13 level, everybody. That's the Friday close. Very important pivot point if buyers want to keep control of what could have been a really good retake of buyers. You had all this work made with higher lows. They pushed a new high. They tried to hold above, and then they failed. They did everything they could, and then they still failed. Oh, my bad, man. We still didn't look at the quarterly chart either, Leland. I'm sorry. Oh, Leland, you were gone, but I also hyped up your new video. I didn't tell them what it was called. I didn't tell them anything about it. I just straight up told him what I told you, man. This is probably the best video I've ever seen on trading in the market on YouTube, as well as I feel like nobody's ever touched that topic. Quarterly chart. What am I doing? So here's the quarterly chart. All of these equal 1/4 of a year. Speaking of all-time high, can you check max monthly chart and look at the high of 2007 versus 2000 versus 2007? Alright, so he said max monthly chart, and then he said, can you look at the highs of 2000? So let's mark 2000, kind of this general vicinity. And 2007. It's right before the 08 crash, right here. So 07, so kind of like this general area. So he's saying check out these two highs. We talked about that 3-bar play the other day on Q. Oh, on the quarterly. Oh, yeah, you're right. The bullish continuation. But yeah, pretty interesting seeing this. And this is how we look for rejections. And now, we're never going to say we know how to catch these moves. No, we don't. We know how to potentially catch the beginning of these moves. When you get a high and a lower high, then you get the break of structure. That's a really nice sign. You get it here again, too. High, lower high, break of structure. Very interesting. I remember us talking about how, like, everybody was like, guys, we're moving so much this year. And I remember covering, like, guys, if you actually look, we've all actually just been consolidating. We haven't actually done anything. You know, and this was like, what, 3, 6, 9, 12, 13 months. That's over a year of price action that really didn't leave the range. All it did was come back down to where we had been above for COVID. And it really wasn't even there. It literally, so this is like the higher low of COVID. Like, here's COVID. Here's the recovery. Here's the higher low that kept it holding. And then it kept going, right? That's where this came down to. It came down to test that. That should be, you know, super bullish. Regardless of it, you buying here or not, doesn't matter. But the fact it did this, and then we've been buying off of that, that's a very good sign. It's like we talked about in our intraday charts. You're getting higher lows continuously. Even if it looks ugly, you are getting buyer signals. You shouldn't be ignoring it. You know, so I think my focus, as well as a lot of people in chat, is not just watching, like, the all-time high supply. You know, if you drew this on the monthly, that's how it would look. I wouldn't draw it like that. I'd probably draw it on the weekly, because it'd be a lot better looking. Go here and then here. This is what I'm looking to see if this gets tested. Because if we ever get that real breakout, this is the all-time high supply. This is where price most likely wants to head. But you also have this mix where, you also have this mix where you have this recent high supply. If you were to do the same thing to what I just did there, you'd see we are barely working through it. But hold up. Give me a second. Let's go to the daily so we can see a little easier. Daily. And you'll see, this is why we've been grinding in a very ugly manner. It's been ugly, but it makes sense. Yes, there's a bearish candle. Yes, we got another bearish candle. Yes, we got a bearish candle here. But we haven't broken anything. We haven't broken structure. I've been saying 453 for months now. We haven't broken under 453. We've gotten above it. We're holding above it really well. And now you kind of have the same thing that's going on here happening here. Yeah, buyers are taking higher, but they really need to continue to prove that they have this. And at any point, yes, you will probably see a really nice rally towards 470s. And then we will get the test of the all-time high supply if this continues to hold. If at any point in the near future we get a breakdown of this, a lower high, and then they finally break 453, that will be our sign that this most likely wants to come down to whatever last area we had. So most likely between here. Down here at, what, 440? Under that, you got whatever that higher low is. You got your gaps, plenty of gaps to look at, and then you have your recent demand, which is way down here. So you got one main area to look out for. If that breaks, another main area to look out for. If not, we're looking for this to hold. We're range trading between here. If not, and if none of that happens, we're probably pushing into 470s by then. Just thought the grind from 2001 to 07 looks eerily similar to the grind up we have been in this year. No, you're correct. I agree. Also, nice add-on Tanner. Sorry, I'm reading that very late. I was just going through a lot. But you are correct as well. And yeah, Eric is right. Be careful, everybody. You have... Is the auction about to start? Is that what I'm seeing you say? Let me see. Yes, the 3-year note bond auction is about to start. 5 minutes. Good looks, Eric. Good looks. And look where they brought us to, Eric. They brought us right back to almost square one. Like, yeah, we opened here, but this is where our higher lows have been building, previous day close, so it makes sense that they bring us down like that right before bond auction. And remember, bond auction doesn't always do something. I think people have been focused on it more because the last 2 times it actually has moved the market a little bit. But just remember, bond auction does not always move the markets. It actually didn't move it a whole lot until recently. Bonds are very important, but the bond auction doesn't always move the equity market as much. Caught a little poot scalp on that drop to 460, down about 1 R on the day now. 2 L's, 1 win. Gonna call it there. Not my best day, but managed risk well on it tomorrow. I was gonna say, even though you had like some weird, awkward, kind of day where you had 2 L's and a win, it literally felt though like you still had control in a weird way. I don't know how else I'm supposed to put that. But it still felt like Zeke was in control even with that. And like he said, managing his risk very well. I agree with that. Which, again, could be your big game changer. That could be what helps you stay positive on the day, stay neutral. Very proud of that, Zeke. Good job. Thank you, Eric, for posting that. I am so glad to see someone posting from financialjuice.com, man. Thank you. An amazing website. Again, and Zeke, kind of like I said earlier this morning too, I genuinely believe we're just trying to find normality. I genuinely believe that, and that's why you're going to get a mix of these weird days. And it kind of ties into what I was just covering on that bigger time frame. That's going to be why you get a lot of these what feels like a weird day. It's because on the bigger time frames, they're trying to figure out what the hell's going on. Like, you definitely have bulls present and in control. Now it's about, do they keep it? Do they make new highs? Do they push towards 470s? Which most likely they will, but we need to see a little bit more. Auction, the bond auction. Sorry, Tanner. And Zeke, like right there, I like your review. He said, initial thoughts about being bullish were right, just didn't have the conviction, I guess, with the slow grind. Microsoft and Apple weakness. And I add on to that, I think in those moments we shouldn't flip. In those moments we should look to chill. And then in those moments, that'll be when those better setups happen where you feel it potentially flipping. You don't just go bullish to bearish. You got to go from bullish to, well, we got some neutral trading here as they try to figure out who has control. Then it's bearish, right? So I feel like maybe adding more pause in between your transitions, I feel like would be very beneficial to you, because you were right the whole way through. Even on your pullback, you were right. It just didn't get that follow through. It's not like you were ever wrong. But I like that a lot too. And I liked your breakdown. I love your non-biased review of yourself. It doesn't really feel like you're emotionally trading. At least from me, it doesn't. It doesn't feel like you were guessing. It just feels like it was weird. Like you were saying, it was just a weird, awkward day. And then you end up getting into just an trade. And I think what I'm more impressed with is that you were light. And that's what really kept you in this mentally, in my opinion, is that you were light. You didn't really love any of these trades. You didn't marry any of them. So you got in light. And then I think that's what kind of gave you a little bit of extra confidence, though, in keeping your day not as bad. Because you really did minimize your risk very well today. Last week was really good for me, so no big deal. We move on. Exactly.
Always more opportunity. This is just something we're just reviewing at this point. There's always going to be more opportunity, and you're going to kick his ass tomorrow, so I'm not even worried about it. Or not. You know, maybe tomorrow we get another just and you don't find anything you like. Only pounce on trades you like. Don't touch anything that just feels like an emotion. If you're sitting there going, wow, I could make 200 off this, I could make 100 off this, I could do this, I could do that, then you don't need to be in that trade. And that's to everybody. That's not just to Zeke. This is to literally everybody. Anytime I am speaking to someone, I'm speaking to all of you. I feel like you manage your emotions well in those as well. Yeah, he did. He did. I agree. Definitely. Sellers are in control of this supply still, guys. Remember, we don't have a bullish retest holding the supply. You just have a retest holding the previous day close. 460 to 462 is being very stubborn today. Nice aggressive pullback bond auction, I'm assuming not going the right way. Jack, supporter for 10 months. I'm the loyalist of loyals. Yeah, bond auction's already happening. Make sure you guys are live on the stream. When you click this right here, see how mine's gray? If I click that, then it's live. Make sure you guys are live on that. Sometimes it's YouTube doing it. Do not blame yourself or your internet. It's most of the time YouTube's fault. The bond auction is already out. A lot of news already. I'm not even going to bother pasting it in chat. There's so much of it being posted on Financial Juice. If anybody wants to see, you go to Financial Juice. A lot of your rates and auction numbers are being posted, so if you want to see all that. 65% on a lotto with the bond auction. Insane job. Very, very nice. Nice pullback. They're breaking Friday's close, meaning they have very good chance of reaching the today's low, today's open area, as long as they maintain under the supply of Friday and the close of Friday. Under both of these areas, lower highs are made. This can give a lot more pressure for bears to pick back up. If not, bulls end up holding the low of day and building up higher. It's going to be a very good sign that buyers are just getting a reset day in between. We might get more continuation. But we really have to focus on today's close. So towards the end of the day, you'll see me post some daily time frame analysis. Be on the lookout for that in the Bueller buy server. But guys, I am going to end the stream there. Right now, guys, I'd be looking for lead test to reject to go down as long as 460 and Friday's high supply remain as resistance. As long as these are areas of resistance, you should be short. If they pop over, you should be long. But guys, I'll see you guys on the next stream. I hope to see all of you in the Discord. Lots of people posting their charts and trades and ideas and just breakdowns and facts and just funny things on the market. So I hope to see each and every one of you in there. And I'll see you guys later on. And I'll see you in Tuesday's stream. Remember, we're streaming every single day this week. Monday through Thursday, we're going to do open at 10:30, the normal streams. And then we'll do a half day on Friday, so I can have the rest of that day to finish some stuff for the course. But guys, I'm going to leave you there with that one. Hopefully you all enjoyed some of the updates, some of the game plans. A lot of trade ideas, not by me today. I didn't have any today. I just kind of covered being bullish and then being bearish, while you had tons of people like Zeke, Daffy, Jay, and many others, of course. I can't name everybody. But everybody had really amazing plays in the server as well as in the YouTube. So shout out to all of you guys who are leading by example. You really are a reason why our community is one of the best or is the best. I don't really care. But either way, I'm just happy that everybody's kicking ass. I'm happy to see everybody working together, focusing on the system, focusing on what's important. But guys, I'll see you later on. Thank you again. Love you all.